Right, hello. Um, Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. This is the Oasis in the desert. Okay. Um, where I'm going with this is the band Oasis, this reunion tour thing or whatever they're doing, or some concerts or whatever next year. Okay. I'm going to pick out some numbers out of this stuff. We've got a nice little scene that links back to 9/11 and the what I think is going to be the collapse of the Hoover Dam. Okay, and there's some nice links back with Billy Idol. So we're going to be all over the place with this video. I mean, there's just an absolute ton of stuff to get through, and I'm going to try and do it pretty quick, but I don't know. I apologise up front because this is going to be terribly all over the place. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff to do with Oasis. Okay, the Wonderwall, the song. Yeah, the Wonderwall is the Hoover Dam. Okay, the Champagne Supernova. If you imagine the Hoover Dam getting hit with some kind of explosive device, what you would expect to see is if you took the cork out of a champagne bottle, that sort of fizz up of champagne, kind of up into like this mushroomy cloud type effect. This is what I'm thinking with the Champagne Supernova. Okay, the old uh, Dom Perignon um, exploding, basically. Okay. Um, so where do we go with this? So obviously, when I was actually in England when I heard about this because my brother-in-law was trying to get tickets to go and see one of them, one of these tour dates, and I thought, this has got to be, this is definitely connected. It's definitely connected. Okay. Um, so I guess we'll just start going through some of the, just some of the songs, and the one song in particular, which I think would be a good place to start actually, um, is Stand By Me. I think I got it right here. Okay, and actually what we need to do, I guess we really need to come through some of these. Well, we've got to go all over the place, unfortunately. I've got all kinds of stuff up here. Here we are, Stand By Me. So the reason why I picked this song out to look at is because of the date, the 22nd of September. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. Hoover Dam. I showed you in the last few videos this connection to the 22nd of September, and Blumenau, the 23rd of September, the next day as well. So we're going to be in the midnight hour of the 22nd of September. It'll probably be on the news or something, and they'll be showing pictures of bloody everything sort of blacking out, as the power goes off. I can just imagine what the news is going to be like. But anyway, so we're picking this song out because it's the 22nd of September. Okay, so Stand By Me. So we'll go to the actual music video and have a goosey gander in it. It's really interesting, right? The video starts off. I'm actually not going to. They kind of jump about, showing you like bits and bobs of scenes from later on in the thing, earlier on. So you kind of get this sort of, I don't know, it's a bit of a Pulp Fiction effect. I don't know what you want to call it, but they're kind of all over the place, with the timeline sort of screwed up a little bit. Okay. I think, I don't know. Does Guy Ritchie do that in Snatch a little bit? I don't know. I think he does it doesn't he do it a couple of times in Snatch as well, sort of go into a different time period within the actual storyline itself. I don't know. Anyway, where I'm getting to with this is there is an interesting part to it. It all culminates in a motorcycle crashing through a glass window. Okay, but before this happens, a bookies is robbed. Okay, so this gambling shop is robbed. Okay, just like in Snatch, we have the same sort of thing going on in the film Snatch. So we've got this tie back with Guy Ritchie and back to Madonna as well, because that was around the time that Madonna was with Guy Ritchie, I think. But there's a ton of little references, I think, to Madonna in that film with Snatch. What was the other thing I was thinking about with? Oh, there's a lot of 4-9 references in Snatch as well. In fact, there's, I've covered it before. There's a ton of stuff in there. But anyway, and there's also the Fight Club reference with, and obviously the guy to go watch for Fight Club is 88 Finesse Temporis. He's got some good decodes on that. Absolutely loaded, of course, with 9/11 references, Fight Club, and so we've got Brad Pitt in there as well, doing his own little, doing a reference back to Fight Club. Anyway, who shows up in this video but the Collins twins, okay, that are Doug the Head. I think they're Doug the Head's daughters in the film, okay, and there's a nice lot of 9/11 references right there when we meet Doug the Head right at the start of close to the start of the film, okay. So anyway, these two show up, which I thought was really interesting. We also got the gambling connection, and of course there's always going to be that gambling connection because probably the gambling capital of the world is Vegas, I would imagine. And so there's that reference back to it. Anyway, let me just sort of, I just want to sort of flip through this scene, because there's the point at which I want to go with this. The bookies gets robbed by this guy on the motorbike, right? So he's fleeing the scene, and when we get to the end, there's going to be a crash, okay? And everybody's got to get out of the way, and these two are going to be on the receiving end of the crash here. If we watch, I'm just going to click through it because I don't want to, so you can see them a bit better. Notice they're wearing black. Liam's got on the blue. And of course the black pearl. Going into 9/11, I believe, marks the start of going into the eclipse. Okay, and so the final part of that is the rock rolling away from the sun again. Yeah, rock and roll. It's got to be a rock and roll band, not Blur, but we got to have a proper rock and roll band. And the rock rolling away is the Hoover Dam collapsing. Okay, the tombstone moving away and letting Christ back out of the tomb. Okay. Anyway, this bike. Oh, I tell you what would be interesting if we could catch. Oh, can we catch that number plate? Because this links back to Madonna. This number plate. Oh, bloody hell. Well, I might not be able to catch the number plate. I've got it written down though, because it's got her numbers on it, and it's got a reference back to the video she did with Guy Ritchie, which is What It Feels Like for a Girl. I think that's the name of the song. Anyway, notice what's just happened here. Right before, so here comes the bike, and the Twin Towers have got to get out of the way. Okay, so this is really the Twin Towers, but they're all already in negative space. They're black. Okay, so this is like the corrupt version of the Twin Towers, which obviously the Twin Towers have been destroyed, so they're dead already. That's why they're in black. Okay, but these two, this is a reference back to, I believe, 9/11, but also to letting go of the false ego. Yeah, and that's what's happened to the Twin Towers. we've built a false ego around ourselves, and that's what's not balanced. Oh dear. Anyway, pushes the one out the way, and then we have the motorcycle crash. Okay, so a couple of interesting things, and I'll try and find that number plate in a minute and we'll go to it, but this guy's going to go through the glass window, which is, one side of it is inside of the womb, one side is outside of the womb. Okay, this is the crossover point into the metaphysical and out of the metaphysical, is the Vesica Pisces, how you want to look at it, right? Anyway, the motorcycle rider is going to be basically go through there and be reborn. Okay, and that's really all I really want to show for that. One of the twins is down, and again, this comes back to the, you know, the sacrificial goat and the scapegoat, the one that, you know, the one that is sacrificed and the one that is let off the hook, so to speak, the one that is saved. Okay, and to become saved, you have to sacrifice a part of, again, it's the false ego, you have to sacrifice that part of you that's become addicted to the matrix. And that's what coming out of the matrix is letting go of the matrix. Okay, getting away from that addiction of the matrix. Okay, anyway, so we have this connection. We've got the twin connection, of course. We've got the Guy Ritchie connection with Snatch. Now let me show you something. I think I've still got it up here. Now I cannot for the life of me find the birthdays, or well, it'd be the birthday of the, because they're identical twins, the birthday of these two. But what I did find, and I don't know if this is legit or not, is I couldn't find anything. Everything that I looked at said circa, I think it was 74 or 78, the two different places that I found. But when I was when I saw this here though, who's dated who, this was interesting, I thought, because it was the right time period. I mean, obviously it's got their name here. One of the names, Tina Collins. It's Tina and Nicola, I think. The 30th of November popped up. Now, whether that's actually, I don't know. That's what popped up anyway. It says occupation, actress, filmography, 5, film year, blah blah. I don't know. Anyway, 30th of November happens to be Billy Idol. So I don't know if that's actually their birthday. 1977 would be around about the right time. 30th of November though is Billy Idol's birthday, and you see that bike, the bike crash. Well, Billy Idol had a bike crash, a motorcycle accident. And so if we go to, sure I had it down here somewhere. If we go to Billy Idol's bike crash, come on, where is it? Somewhere. 6th of Feb, 1990. Okay, the 6th of February, 1990. Let's go look that date up and see whether there's anything relevant about it. Okay, Feb's the other way, Dan. Come on. So the bike crash, when this guy is going through the window, okay, and notice the reference to the appliances there, because in White Wedding, Billy Idol shows up in his video for White Wedding. He shows up wearing, he shows up on a motorbike. Okay. What's interesting about that is when everything goes haywire in there, and there's also when everything goes haywire in the video, they're kind of in the kitchen with all the appliances are going crazy. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to show you everything. I've already got all these tabs here to whiz through, and hopefully if you've been watching the channel you already know what I'm talking about, that scene. And again, the White Wedding, is 7/29, which was Princess Diana and Charlie Boy. 7/29, of course, September, and the 29 is, what was I going with this? Oh, this is the day before the Hoover Dam's birthday. Okay, if you just look at it as September the 29th, the 30th of September is the birth of the Hoover Dam. So this tie in with the White Wedding and the Hoover Dam, and we're also going to be looking at the White Wedding with Madonna and Billy Idol here in a minute. Okay, it's not really a white wedding between them, but I'm just going to show you some numbers that kind of tie together. Where was we going? Bloody hell. The February the 6th. Now note, 37th day of the year, 329 days left. Okay, just read it backwards. 9/23. 9/23. Okay, the 23rd of September. That's pretty darn interesting there. To me, that's a pretty good connection. Okay, but I'm not done yet. Hang on. Let's see if we can. I wonder if we could backtrack and find that number plate. It would be handy if I could just show you it rather than just take my word for it. Notice the 8/21 as well shows up in this. There's a lot of other stuff that shows up in here. The needle shows up. Oh yeah, we've got the supernova as well, where the band is singing, and also I think it's right. This might be what gets crashed into, or it's right next door. And there's a couple other references. I believe there's a new moon reference in here as well somewhere on one of the. Let's just click through it anyway. That way we might actually land on something that's interesting. Note the 8/21. Okay, connecting back to. What is that connecting back to? I had something for that. Connecting back to. Maybe connecting back to the eclipses? Can't remember now. What was I had? I said, oh, 8/21 as well. I'll tell you what 8/21 was. It's the. I don't have the bit of paper. When I get round to showing you this triple. The triple cycles overlapping in actual circle fashion, and they form like a trinity. That 8/21 is one of those numbers that ties in with 9/11. Okay. Oh yeah, obviously, what's his face as well with that numerology? Matthew Perry. Boy, I'm really hope. You can see it better now. Darn it. There, I don't know if you can make that out right at the top of the screen there. It says new loon. Have this reference to a new moon, which again is the idea of the old moon dying and a new one being reborn. And when the new moon's born, it's a blackout. Boy, oh boy, I probably just clicked off. No, I'm not going to be able to get this motorbike, am I? Oh, and that's the other thing to this video is got numbers, because they got like it set up as a sort of surveillance camera thing. So you've got these numbers running all the way through it at certain points, which you get quite a few interesting numbers out of that whole thing. Oh, come on, let's just get it on the right spot here. There, ooh, nah, you maybe, hang on. Let's see. There we go. That was worth it, wasn't it? Just look at them numbers there, right? It's PP968X, right? So that already the 68X at the bottom, if we just make X10, we can wangle it that way, and we can make that a, well, at least it's the numbers for Madonna, okay? the 16th of August. Okay, and then this PP9. I want to show you something. I think I got it down here. Okay, the PP9. Okay, we're at 40 seconds because I want to go back to that point. But right at the end of this thing, when Madonna crashes and burns, right as she walks out the door of the motel room. I wonder if I could find that, because this is I could do with this, right? So when she's walking out of the, notice this. Okay, I know it's not. Just notice it though, right? See what happens. Okay, so that flips to 666. Yeah, 669 flips down. I just thought it was interesting with, you know, I just thought I was in, you know, a similar sort of thing going on there. 669. I don't know if people see that or not with the PP9. Anyway, towards the end of that video, she's obviously going to croak at the end of the video, and there's this reference to like the completion of a cycle, because she's got the old woman with her. So it's like it's the end, you know, the death. Oh, anyway, I guess we'll just start going through some of these bits and bobs here. So we've got we can get to hang on a minute. Did I show you this? Did I show you? So anyway, we can get back to Madonna, okay, with that, and Billy Idol. So in a minute, we'll go and look at some connections between Madonna and Billy Idol, and this potential date for Madonna, and this some more, 922 stuff, right? Before we move on, let's just start going through all these tabs, and we can just do, which bits we need to know. What was I gonna? It was just when they released what they were doing. Okay, yeah, okay. When they released what they were doing, okay, 27th of August. Okay, 27th of August this year. The 27th of August gets us to where? Let's have a look. August the 27th. Okay, it's 240, 126 on the days. What's interesting is the 26th is 239 again. So you go back a day. So in effect, if it had been a normal year, we would have been, the 27th of August would have been on this date. So you can kind of flip back between a normal year and a leap year, and you can fudge it where you can get a coverage of a couple of 3 days actually, maybe even 4 days, where no, I think it'd just be 3 days. Would it just be 3 days? Well, at least a couple of days where 2 dates will tie together, okay, with the days of the year. Anyway, 239, yeah, the day. I just thought that was pretty close, and the fact that you could switch back to a normal year and get that number for the 27th of August, thought that was interesting. And also note the 827. I think that ties in. So if I go back to, what was that? If I go back to this, go back to the 40 mark. I can't remember what those numbers were actually. Come on. My little counter is not working. I don't know if you probably won't be able to make that out. Anyway, here we are. Oh no, it's 8764. 827 doesn't fit with that. 8764. I want to show you what this is as well. So that was another potential connection with the Oasis thing. So I really want to show you this now as well, where this ties in. Because remember, this is the Guy Ritchie film, okay? Yeah, it's in here. So 8764. Actually, this is Fibonacci at the top of here, and this is this cycle. This is all 3 cycles. There's only 3 different cycles, and they're just aligned with the twins. Okay, the twins in them align. And then what I thought was interesting as well was with this Madonna reference was that all the 9s align as well. 2 sets of 9s, well, 2 sets of 9s. Okay, 999 and 999. Remember as well that the emergency number in England is 999. Okay, and also that, you know, that 666 that we end up getting in the Madonna is, you know, is essentially the same as that. Okay, that number that is on the old people's home where she picks up the granny, I'm not going to say the name of the home there, but if you read it, it's rude. 8764, that's what was on there. Go back to it. Old guest home, 8764. Okay, 8764. Okay, what is interesting about that is one side of it is the Queen's death, and the other side of it, well, it's not really the other side of it, but what I want to say, this right here is Donald Trump. Okay, 14/6, read it in 14th of June, read it in reverse there. So it's kind of interesting to have to go down to the sort of balance numbers at the bottom. Remember, we're looking at 922 for the Hoover Dam, which is, this is the center. This red arrow here is the center of the whole thing. So there's our Hoover Dam date for, you know, balance. If we look down here, okay, we've got jumbled up Donald Trump numbers there, and if we look at the corresponding whole set of numbers here that she's referencing, okay, we have the jumbled up Donald Trump, and we have 246 in there as well, which is a jumbled up version of, let me show you this date. I know, I'm sorry, this is all over the place, but we're back in, let's go back to September. Okay, September, we go back to the 20th now. Okay, this is the date I'm looking at for Madonna, the 20th of September. Okay, 264. 264. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. 246 was the 2nd. So it's the same numerology, the 9-2 numerology, and of course the 2nd was Labor Day, so we have that nice connection with the holiday song. Okay. Yeah, so the 9-2 starts looking interesting when you reference that little, you know, do that little tie back right there in that video. One other thing, yeah, again, the link with Madonna as well this year is her birthday. If we look at the day of the year again for her birthday, the 16th of August, 229, okay, 137, 13th of July, Donald Trump's ear. Okay, now if you remember, I think it was Desperately Seeking Susan. Desperately Seeking Susan was I'm just thinking of something about Oasis again now with the name Susan. What am I thinking? Desperately Seeking Susan was the earrings. It was all about the earrings. Okay. So I just thought it was interesting with the Donald Trump connection with the ear and the earrings with Desperately Seeking Susan. Okay. What was I thinking about Susan? Susan, what was it? Oh no, I'm thinking of Sally, not Susan. Oh gosh, I'm going around in circles with names. Dear oh dear. Okay, so anyway, she is referencing 922. Okay, with her birthday, which is downright interesting as well. Let's jump around again. Where are we going now? We don't want to do them $1 bills yet. We don't want to do that dude. We don't want to do that dude yet. Was he interesting? Oh, I just watched 88 Finished and Porous did a video on the Vegas shooting, and this dude Jason Aldean, I was like, wonder what his, I don't know how you say that. I'm not really a country fan at all, apart from the older stuff. But anyway, 228. Okay, 822. Pretty interesting, pretty close on the last day of February, because boy, it'd either have to be this date, yeah, or this is the last day, which connects with the other last day that comes every 4 years, which is the 29th of February. Okay, 229. Okay, and the other date that would connect with that as well would be the 1st of March, which of course is another one of those. I call it the federal birthday of the Hoover Dam, when they exchanged over the people that constructed it changed over to the federal government. So this is a really interesting date, because it's the last day in February, and the other last day in February is the 29th. Okay, so that it kind of ties back in with the 229, I think. Anyway, I thought that was worth a mention. And 88's video on that is really, really good. It's well worth watching. So let's just keep going through, right? And I'll just sort of backtrack on the connections as we go as well. But this, yeah, let me just keep going through, and well. Oh no, 218. That's what I was thinking. 21. The 218, 821 or 218 again. Wasn't I thinking? What was I thinking? I'm thinking Pluto. It's just a Pluto connection. Yeah, it's the Pluto connection with this dude. Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to kind of talk about him really quickly, but I didn't know if it was really. There was just a nice little connection with this dude, Clyde Tom Bow, or however you say that. Little connection to Kansas, and not the telescope that he discovered Pluto with, but I believe he made them himself. A lot of these, or some of his early telescopes, I think he made himself. But there is a telescope where my wife works, just down the road here, a couple of miles from us, which was, I guess, it came from the, I want to say, or the University of New Mexico or something. It's where he ended up teaching eventually, and I guess that was probably his telescope. So it's pretty interesting. It's just, one of his telescopes is just down the road here. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm sure my wife was telling me about it. But okay, let's look. Okay, discovery date. Yeah, just 218. Okay. Right. So yeah, I don't know why I was having a brain meltdown there with that. Oh, and hang on a minute. What was his birthday? Oh, his birthday's the 4th of Feb. The 4th of Feb. Hang on a minute. Let's look. it's going to be pretty close. I wonder if that's, where are we at? The 4th of Feb. Okay, that gives us a 331 on the days of the year left, which again, that was this year was blooming, what's the name? Was Easter, the 31st of March. Well, that's pretty interesting as well. Because I'm doing this video is going to be a lot about looking at these numbers for the date, you know. So that's kind of interesting as well. Anyway, keep going down. The Power of Goodbye. This is a Madonna song. Notice where this one crops up is just after Drowned World Substitute for Love. Okay, and Nothing Really Matters, where she's kind of lying there dead as well. Oh, this is a February 9th, 2/9 reference again. Okay, so that's got our right numerology there. The Power of Goodbye, of course, and this has got some 9/11 references in it. I'm pretty sure the towers are in it, actually. And I think right at the start, there's a picture of a guy putting his shoes on, lacing up his shoes. I think that's right at the start. A bit like Donald Trump. Don't want to forget his shoes. Anyway, September 22nd release date for this. Pretty interesting, especially with the length, 410. 410 is a completion number, and it's also, remember, 4-1. Every 4 years, the 1 comes, okay? What else did I want to say about that? I don't know, I just wanted to... It's so close to this one, you know? And we got the 824 as well with Drowned World, of course. The completion of the Pluto cycle, 248 years. Okay, that's pretty cool. And 5-9, I want to say that references 2-9, I think. Hang on a minute, let's go to it. Yeah. Okay, so these numbers here dropping down for the 9229 reference right here. I know that's a bit scribbly now. Let's get all that. You can see that pretty clear. You know, there's her numbers there now. Remember, this is Lucas numbers again at the bottom of here. This is just these columns just added up and reduced. Okay, this is just the reduction of these 3 numbers in each column, and it forms Lucas numbers again. Okay, so we've got Fibonacci, Lucas numbers, and pi numbers reducing back down to Lucas numbers, but they just start in a different spot. And what is interesting about the center of this is the 9-2 at the center of it. Okay, and then the 9-2-2, and then of course you can reduce 2-2 back to the 4 and the 9-4. That number there, oh my gosh, again, for Madonna is pretty interesting as well. Okay, 9-2. Oh, we're coming up on the. I won't get this up before 9-2. I've got about 15 minutes left until the 20th, so this is going to be up on the day. What else do I want to say? Oh, right, so let's get off of this a second, and we'll go back to, so there's a lot of interesting stuff around that, around these, especially around Drowned World. I mean, you can't, I mean, that has to be a reference, doesn't it? Drowned World, okay, to a reference to the deluge, to the dam breaking, okay? We've already done Stand By Me with the 22nd as well. By the way, did I mention Liam's birthday? I think it's the 21st of September. So there's a date, there's a number to put right in between these things, is Liam's birthday. And obviously, even just these two's, yeah, see it says circa 1974, even just the name, Collins, I mean, you know, mental. Oh, I thought this was, well, this was kind of worth mentioning. This is her last, oh no, it's not her last one actually. What's this? Oh, that's Sam Smith. No, this is Madonna. Sorry, Madonna. This is her last song that's on the list anyway, right here. 6th of Feb again. Yeah, recorded 6th of Feb. The motorcycle accident. Okay, crazy. Okay, and also look, the released 9th of June. Yeah, Michael J. Fox's birthday. Okay, so that I thought was worth mentioning. What we got here, White Wedding. The only reason why I mentioned White Wedding is again because of the 729, and also Billy Idol showing up on the motorbike, and also the reference to Madonna in there. Remember, she's got there's a lookalike in the audience to the wedding. Yeah, there's a lookalike in there for Madonna, and I think it is to Who's That Girl. It's the music video to Who's That Girl. They've got somebody dressed up like what she's wearing in the music video for Who's That Girl in the crowd at the wedding. Okay, just look at this a second. Oh yeah, Perry Lister. See, we got the 10-4, 4-10 again. This was the who is playing the bride, okay, in the music video. And I think it says in there that Billy Idol ended up dating her or something. Anyway, who knows? Rebel Yell. Why are we on Rebel Yell now, Dan? Bloody hell. I'll tell you why we're on Rebel Yell. I want to show you something. Love Don't Live Here Anymore. Remember I did that video where they supposedly Madonna released a cover of Love Don't Live Here Anymore by Rolls Royce. Okay, and the Rolls Royce as well is pretty important symbolism with the temple. Yeah, because the front grille radiator forms the temple. Okay, with the flying lady on top. But anyway, Rolls Royce, the song Love Don't Live Here Anymore. Okay, that came out on 11/11. Yeah. At the Hoover Dam, we have the 211s that are inside the dam. The 11/11 is inside the dam, okay, which is a 2-2, remember? And now we're looking at 9/22. But the story goes that Billy Idol supposedly was going to put that on the Rebel Yell album back in 84 or 83, whenever it was, and then Madonna released it just before he was going to put it on his album. So they'd both done the same song covered the same song at the same time, supposedly. So anyway, but her release date, March the 19th. Yeah, March the 19th. If you've been watching, you'll know what March 19th is. It is this. I'll show you it on the dollar bill now. If I could find the right dollar bill. Oh no, it's over here. Hang on. Oh, there it is. This dollar bill. Okay, 319. Just flip that around. Okay, and again, what's so important about this day is this is the spring equinox and 9/22 is the autumnal equinox. So we've got two sort of twin dates again. Okay, where the hell was I at? Okay, but anyway, yeah, we're on Rolls Royce now. Where the hell did it go? Anyway, so that should have been that would have been released then. Yeah, okay, and then so Billy Idol would have released his version, I'm guessing, just on the album, which would have been the 10th of November. And now you know that Billy Idol is a sort of word play for the $1 bill. The one is the I, the doll is the dollar, and the bill, well, it's the bill, Billy. Okay, Billy Idol. Okay. This is like one of the main dates that's on the dollar bill. When you fold the two sides together, the circle at the top with the little owl in the middle, and then the little sort of shieldy shaped thing that comes over and meets that circle, and the little owl sits right in the middle of the two. Okay, and it is Pi Day, okay, the 314th day of the year, okay, and it's written on the dollar bill. That little circle in the shield thing forms the word pi, okay, and you flip the dollar bill upside down. People that watch my channel know what I'm talking about. You flip it upside down and it makes the number 10 and 11. The 11 sits inside the number 10. So anyway, this is really important, okay, because I'm going to go on to the number jumps that connect with these two. But that Love Don't Live Here Anymore, the connection to 1111, which is, you know, her connection is connecting to the equinox, and his connection is connecting to which connects to the dollar bill with the 922, and his connection is also connecting to the dollar bill with his 1011 here, okay. Oh man, I could do with a drink. What is this? Oh, I happen to be looking through, and I haven't really researched this yet. To Be a Lover, okay. I think in the video for this they're in a boxing ring, which I thought was interesting with the Fight Club stuff, you know. 9/22, okay, again September the 22nd release date. There's so many more interesting things with Billy Idol, but I just thought, well, yeah, he's managed to put something out on 9/22. Okay, that was the motorcycle crash. That was Stand By Me, again 9/22. Okay, there's some number jump that's not filled in. Okay, let's whiz back to this Friends reference. First episode of Friends, okay, 9/22, 1994, with the 9/4 in there as well. To the 6th of May the 6th, and then we've got the 24 in the year as well, 2004. But May the 6th, let's go to May the 6th, sorry, excuse me. May the 6th is 239 days left in the year. Okay, read it backwards. Oh no, don't read it backwards. Read it normal. 239, 23rd of September. Okay. So again, with the Friends reference, I've got to just do this again. There's Joey's manager, okay, looks like Madonna, okay, and this is the actress's name. It's June Gable, okay, June the 5th, okay, June the 5th. Let's look at June the 5th and look at the 79 there. Wasn't that one of those numbers that fit in with the 59? Come on, let's look at June the 5th. June, come on, June the 5th. Look at that. Look at the days left in the year. Yeah, the 20th of September comes out of that. 209. That is mental. Okay, that is absolutely crazy. So again, you know, 4 minutes time, it looks like it could be a likely, you know, it looks about as likely as any of the other ones I've mentioned, any other dates. Oh, blimmin' hell. I wanted to re-mention this because I just got thinking about this the other day. So we're off on a bit of a tangent here, but the Atomic Kid, remember this in Back to the Future? When Marty makes his leap back, this is what is playing at the theatre, cinema thing, whatever he crashes into, but he doesn't really crash into it because he disappears. And the fire trails go into this thing. The Atomic Kid, right? Mickey Rooney. This is why I bring it up, because Mickey Rooney, his birthday, this is the Atomic Kid in the film, is the 23rd of September. Okay? So remember, we're talking about the midnight hour, 9/22 through to the rebirth, born again, yeah, born in the USA, born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen's birthday as well, okay, springing from the stein, from the cup of Christ, is Mickey Rooney. Now, the only reason why I bring this up is because when I was a pipe fitter, oh bloody hell, when I was a pipe fitter, why can't I just, when I was a pipe fitter, a glorified plumber, I guess, building big bits of pipe, a lot of it was mostly water pipe, and yeah, mostly water pipe, I would think. But anyway, when I started working at the place, because I worked for about 10 years, right? When I started working there, of course, you go and help somebody and they kind of show you what to do, right? And as you progress, you kind of change positions and you now have somebody comes and helps you. Well, my helper, right, was called Richard Mooney. Okay, flip the R and the M here. Ricky Mooney. Richard Mooney. So my helper, while I was basically, I mean, you could almost think of it like bloody Mario jumping in and out of pipes, you know. I just thought I was crazy, really, actually, thinking about it. So I I was pretty good friends with him. I still am, but I haven't seen him for ages. So, but there you go. And actually, funnily enough, which is not really very funny, but the guy was a bit accident prone. There was one time that he about cut his arm off with an angle grinder. And now thinking about it, kind of like references that scene in Back to the Future when Marty's hand starts disappearing, right? And then I bumped into another guy from work, and he had told me, and actually his dad popped over one day and told me he lost his blimmin' eye. I guess it was a garage spring hit him in the eye or something and took his eye out. So he had this other accident, which was the loss of the eye, which is quite a kind of significant reference, if you like, to what's going on with the idea of coming through the eye. Anyway, it's just these little. There's just lots of little, and of course my birthday is September the 23rd. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, so look at that, and 1920 as well. There's our 992 as well there. Why am I still on this? I don't want to do anything with Billy here, but that is the Who's That Girl release date there as well, which ties in with Madonna, and obviously Billy and Billy Idol, and this character being in Doctor Who, like the Hoover, like the Hoover Dam, and the 4 Daleks that are the Hoover Dam, stuck inside the dam there, with the plungers and the little eye thing that's an electrical insulator, like what they have on the towers there. And noticing Back to the Future, the 2 towers behind Marty's house, to reference the twin towers, are electrical towers as well, which is kind of interesting with the connection back to the Hoover Dam there, power generation. The Power of Goodbye, we already talked about this. There's the 410 again. Mr. Perry. So what I want to do now is go on to these 2 dates for Madonna and Billy Idol, because I looked at these earlier on in the year, and then I looked at these dates as well. I've actually talked about these dates before. But what I did is I put this palindromic number in, just number doodling. Anyway, it came out the 20th, and I, for whatever reason, I'd just chosen, and these are the numbers, that obviously the jumbled up for the Queen's birthday, 421. So they're pretty important numbers, but yeah, just number doodling. Anyway, 241 and then 42. You'll know why I like palindromic numbers, because if you go from the 30th of September 1935, when the Hoover Dam was built, and then you come through to 9/11 last year, the number of days was 321 323. Okay, so there was a palindromic number connecting those two dates, and it was the 321, like the final countdown type idea, and then 123 as well, reflected in that, with like this starting up again, starting the cycle over again. Anyway, what was interesting about this number is it came out from her birthday. It came out on 9/20. Yeah, today actually now. And I did the same thing for Billy Idol. He had a similar palindromic number, except you go from his birthday, 30th of November 1955, 25,152 days. So it's 25152. Okay. So we've got this 25, 24. Yeah, the 24th is the 24th of December is the Eve, Christmas Eve, going into the 25th, the day of Christmas Day. Okay. Notice he comes out on 10/10. Now, why this was interesting, again, if you go back to Billy Piper, the Piper again, the Billy Piper reference with Doctor Who, I believe it was, I don't know if I forget his name right, David Tennant was the Doctor, or one of the Doctors when she was in Doctor Who, which is, again, the Tennet and Tennant, very similar sounding, and the 10/10, if you've seen the Sator Square, you know what I'm talking about. So 10/10 is super duper interesting. And there was a reference to, and the Sator Square actually has a reference back to opera, I think, and we did have a reference to somebody's birthday on, I think it was the 22nd of somebody was explaining to me about that opera singer. I can't remember though who the name off the top of my head. Anyway, another 922 connection. Anyway, 10/10 happens to be on the $10 bill, funnily enough, as a reference to the Hoover Dam. Now, if you recall, on the normal dollar bill, hang on a minute, if you can see my cursor, I apologise, I haven't been able to make it bigger, but if you come across from this marker point here, all the way across to the other marker point and put a fold, you get the dam, yeah, and the ruffles, the Austin Powers tie here forms the water flowing over the dam, okay? So if you go to the $10 bill, it's got the same thing in it. It's got the same, very similar marker coming across Hamilton, okay? Notice that we had to have that play Hamilton, as a, a thing. And you put that fold there, and you get the same effect, okay? You get the dam with the tie forming, the water coming over. 10/10, okay, 10/10. And note on this dollar bill, the dollar symbol is an S. Here, S10, the Chevy S10, Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry, okay? Anyway, boy, we are all over the place. Okay, so we've got these two dates. Now, what's interesting about these two dates, the 20th and the 10th of October, is the date that's in between. The date that balances these two dates out is the 30th of September. That is the day the Hoover Dam was completed. That's its birthday, the 30th of September. So these two number runouts with the palindromic numbers here, one goes to one side of the dam and the other goes to the other side of the dam, yeah? So very, very interesting. Especially with the 93, the 93 million miles to the sun. What else did I want to do? So what I want to do, I wanted to show you, look, her palindromic number, the 24142. Again, in this setup, we've got those numbers forming 4 columns through here, so it's quite important. It's right at the start as well, all these black ones. Again, Queen birthday numbers, and of course you flip the side of the year, for the Queen, and we're at 9/11. Yeah, so very important stuff. Oh yeah, also, bloody hell, 8/21 is the stop and start of Lucas numbers. Okay, so that's really important as well. Okay, so yeah, the 231 is the start. So the end here. So this is a bit like 9/11 because Fibonacci is, one end's 9 and then you're going into 11. Okay, so that's again interesting that that number balances with 9/11 in the Trinity, which I haven't shown you yet, but I will at some point. Oh, and also the other thing is the White Wedding, Billy Idol, the White Wedding. Note where it is right here. Okay, 7/29. Okay, here's our 9/22 date here as well. Okay, so it's, sorry that's such a mess, but it's right there, right as we go into our next set of numbers. So it's an important reference. It's a really important reference. What else we got in here? What was I going to do with this? I don't think I was going to do anything. It's just that it's 9/20. Yeah. Plutonium. No, I don't need any of this other stuff. Be Here Now. Oh, this is the album that was on. Okay, Stand By Me was on this album, and let's just look at I wanted to show you this as well. This is mental. So they've got the 8/21 there. I believe this is, I don't really know what that is. It kind of looks like a clock to me, but I don't know if it's got I don't know really what that is actually there. It's a drum, I don't know what it is. But it is, I'm just looking at it now, I can't really make out whether it's I can count all the bits around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it probably is a clock without any hands on it. So we're out of time. Oh geez. This is what I wanted to show you, the swimming pool. It looks like the swimming pool is not got much water in it, and what's sticking out is the Rolls Royce. Very interesting with all the Rolls Royce references in Back to the Future. Who's that girl? Yada yada yada. Even in the start of White Wedding, she pulls in a Rolls Royce. It's an old one. Mentioned that before because my granddad used to have a little model Matchbox toy up on the mantelpiece. Little silver ghost, Rolls Royce silver ghost. Just the things you remember. Anyway, yeah, kind of ominous, like something just like shooting at the world there. Okay, a rod. Okay, what else we got? I don't know why I had this up. Oh, cigarettes and alcohol. Was that on the same? Definitely, maybe. That was their first. Was that? I don't know what it was. I don't care. 10/10. If you go through all these and look at the 4/4/8 with the reference to the eclipse. If you go through most of their, I want to say somebody else had an interest in. I think there was an 8/11 birthday in the group as well. Can't remember who it was. But if you go through these songs, you'll find that there's a ton of interesting dates in them. A ton of interesting dates. So there's that. I can't remember if there was anything else. Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention this one. Do you know what I mean? Now, I thought I had that up here, though. I wonder if I could find it. Yeah, it's right here. So that's on there as well. Oh, single version 7/22, September, Sep 22. Yeah, there's not really enough time to go through every single thing, but very reminiscent of the videos. Hints back to Full Metal Jacket, yeah, and there's a few Damn references in all of, I think a lot of Kubrick stuff's got references back to this whole thing, but definitely has a couple of references to the Hoover Dam in Full Metal Jacket. And what was the other thing I was going to say about that as well? Oh, Matthew Modine's in that, or Modine, how you say that name. And there was that really good connection with him and Madonna, back to Vision Quest, okay, and back to who it connected to Hoover Dam, and it connected to Madonna, because of course she did the Was It Crazy for You in that film, the song for it. Okay, anyway, I think we've about done. Oh, blimmin' hell. One more thing. Don't look back in anger. So Sally can wait. Starts off with the chair symbolism. That is, again, Hoover Dam symbolism. The back of the chair is the face of the dam. We've got two sets of towers inside the dam. If you look at the dam itself, it's almost like it's got the back of the chair and then two armrests as well. It's the throne, yeah? Except the throne that we're in is the toilet, and we need to come out of it. Dear oh dear. There's a bunch of symbolism in here, but this is the guy that I really wanted to mention. I can't remember his name. Patrick somebody or other. He's driving them to this stately home type place, where there's a bunch of girls, and obviously we've got the drum set in the swimming pool. So there's all kinds of little references based around the swimming pool there. And we've got all the sort of girls dressed in white. So a bunch of symbolism. But the thing that I took away from that was really them showing up with this guy driving. Because that guy is in A View to a Kill, and he's driving James Bond around in that film. And of course, Max Zorin is Christopher Walken, who is, of course, his birthday this year fell on Easter, so the 31st of March. So, I mean, I don't know. And that whole thing with A View to a Kill, the reference to Paris, there's just a ton of references, right? The silver mine, again, Back to the Future, the silver mine reference, and of course, I believe that is Nevada's thing. I don't know if it's called the Silver State or, well, anyway, a lot of silver mining. Where was I going with that? But the whole thing with A View to a Kill, the whole idea is that whole side of the country is going to be under the deluge. It's very similar to Superman, the movie. So the idea that part of that side of the country is going to be sunk, basically, into the Pacific. Okay. I think I've done it all. Man, God knows how long that is. What have I missed? Oh dear, I don't know. Again, there's so many little connections. I felt like I missed a little connection again back to that. What am I thinking? That number there is the Great Scott number as well. Notice it's right in the center. Oh, there's that 79 with how old that old girl is now. I think that's what it was, June Gable. Just trying to think what I've missed here. I'm going to leave it there. I am going to leave it there. There was one other nice little reference. I can't remember what it was. It was something to do with down there, where Clyde Tombaugh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyway, Clyde Tombaugh was working in New Mexico. There was a reference to McLaughlin. Okay, somebody in the army, maybe. I can't. It's actually in the Wikipedia. I don't know if it was actually anything. I just saw the name, and it just made me think of the machete thing with oh bloody hell, Robert De Niro, and that character's name, and there's Robert De Niro's birthday, which ties in again with Sean Penn's birthday, which is Madonna's first husband, and then on the other end of that, Trump over here as well. Okay, so these two join together, and what's right in the middle of that is the 88. I don't know. I don't know, because you got to remember this 88 reference is still pointing. Not only does that point to the 11, but now it's pointing to this 22 as well down here. Oh, too many numbers, man. Too many numbers. I think we'll leave it there. I know I've missed a couple of things out of that, but whatever. Okay. Don't look back in anger. Okay. Oh yeah, Champagne Supernova. Oh dear. Walking down. Is this, what is it? Walking down the hall faster than a cannonball. Are you gonna do the cannonball into the Hoover Dam? Oh dear. Is that what's gonna hit the Hoover Dam? A cannonball? I don't know. So many little references. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on another one soon. Alright, well, yeah, by the way, might watch out, see if Madonna croaks tonight, tomorrow night, or in the middle of the night. Oh dear. It would, if something does happen to Madonna, I would be, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, alright. Thanks for watching. Bye.